Welcome to our new video here. We will introduce in this video the iPad Air 3, which was revealed like a week ago. And we'll compare it with the iPad Pro 12.9 and the iPad 6 from 2018. This iPad was introduced without a conference, without anything, even in the Apple conference that happened after the announcement of this iPad. It wasn't mentioned except as a picture on the screen and a few words, even not about it, about all the hardware by Tim Cook. Um, this iPad feels very light, even lighter than the iPad 2018, and it feels very sturdy, and I like the feeling compared to the iPad Pro 11 inch. The content of the box, as you know, the charger cable, lightning cable here, and the power adapter. This iPad comes with a physical home button, and it compares to the iPad 2018 as a little bit bigger, but a little bit lighter also. If you look to the build quality of the iPad 6, it's way more solid than this iPad, but the balance of this iPad is, I feel it's much better than the iPad 6. Let's start now testing with the 3D Mark. Here we see the 3D Mark working on the three iPads. Of course, you see the color is way different between the iPad 6 and the other two iPads. And now let's see some results. The iPad Air comes with a result of 4,966, while iPad 6 2,859, and the iPad Pro, of course, it's 7,580. So that makes the real thing is that this iPad in the middle between the two other iPads, and if you have the ability to pay 250 more, you'll get the iPad Pro 11 inch. But if you don't, you have something very powerful. As they say in their slogan, power is not only for the pros. Actually, also this what we see from the Geekbench 4 test. Also, the results show that this iPad is very close to the iPad Pro in the single core test, but it's way different from the iPad Pro in the multiple core. 18,000 versus 11,000, as you see on the screen, while the iPad 6 poorly comes with 3,500 in single core and 6,000 in the multiple core. If we go to the GPU, we'll see that this iPad comes in between as the previous test, and it comes with 21,000 points versus 41,000 points for the iPad Pro. And that's a big difference. You may see that in the games and in some other programs like that. Let's move on to another test. We have here Antutu, which is a test for everything. And the results here confirm that the CPU is slightly less than the iPad Pro, while the GPU, as in Geekbench, is way less than the iPad Pro 3. And the user interface, which is so strange, is slightly better than the iPad Pro 3. And if we look at the memory, we'll find the iPad Air 3 comes in between the iPad Pro 3 and the iPad. And if we want to check the 3D benchmark, we'll find that the iPad Pro can perform like 16.79 frames per second, while the iPad Air is 14.81. And now we'll finish this video with this experience with the Photoshop Fix. Applying some effects on this picture, you'll see that there's almost no difference between even the iPad 6 and the iPad Air 3. Maybe this because these programs hasn't developed enough to meet with the new powerful features of the iPad Pro and the iPad Air 3. Maybe in the future when Photoshop comes, maybe we'll see some real difference between these old iPads like the iPad 6 and the new ones. I hope you like this video and I hope I have shown you some differences between these three iPads to help you decide which one to buy since the difference in price is not that cheap. And I hope to see you again in another video. Please subscribe and spread the channel between your friends. See you again and bye bye.